Good morning, Hariom. Welcome to your Saturday morning Yang to Yin class. So today we're going to be needing a few props. You're going to need a blanket that's going to be basically to protect your knees, and we're going to be needing 2 blocks. You'll be needing these especially if you have tight hips. And if you don't have blocks at home, that's okay. 2 hardcover books should do the trick. So if you don't have these things yet with you, you can run off and grab those things. In the meantime, I'll explain a little bit about what we're going to be doing today, Yang to Yin, if you haven't already taken the class. The Yang portion, we basically focus on strengthening the body, on engaging different muscle groups to create and facilitate more strength in the body. The Yin portion of it is more lengthening, is more releasing, and we spend a little bit more time in the posture, in the poses than we normally would. Okay, so hopefully you're back by now with the things you need. We're going to start off in a seated position in Sukhasana, just any kind of easy sitting pose for you. We're going to take hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, closing the eyes here, and just noticing the heartbeats. We're going to take a nice deep inhale in through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Again, nice deep inhale. And exhale. One last time, inhaling through the nose. And exhaling. And we're going to open our yoga practice this morning, chanting the mantra Om Hari Om. Inhaling. Beautiful. Releasing the hands, beginning to open the eyes. Great. So we're going to get started in child's pose. Not too wide-legged. We're not going to leave the knees at mat distance. We're going to bring them in just a little bit. We're going to reach the arms in front of us and bring the hips back. Okay, so really activating the arms here, reaching as far as you can, lengthening the side body. If your forehead can come to the mat, that's great. If not, that's fine too. And just breathing deeply into the belly. Good. Inhaling, we're going to gaze forwards. We're going to take the chest, take the hips forwards, lower the hips down towards the mat, and come into a little cobra pose here, making sure that the elbows are coming in towards the ribs, and we're relaxing the shoulders. Exhale, press the hands into the mat, come back to your child's pose. Just warming up a little bit here, finding some movement. Inhale, gaze forwards, take the chest, take the hips forwards. And exhale, back to child's pose. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, gazing forwards, taking the chest, taking the hips, cobra. And exhale, child's pose. Inhale, we're going to come back to center, coming to all fours here. We're going to reach the left leg out to the side. Taking the hands back towards the torso, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky, really pressing into the ground with the sole of the left foot. On the exhale, we're going to take the left hand over to the left knee or calf. Right arm reaches up and over. Breathing here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, reaching up towards the sky, taking the right hand to the hip, left arm comes up towards the sky, and exhale, reaching over to the other side. I have a wall here, so I can't go too far over, but you guys can go as far as you want for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, coming back, taking the hands towards the mat. We're going to take the left knee back. I'm just going to switch sides here so you can see. But the right leg this time is going to come out towards the side. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up, really pressing into the ground with that right foot. Exhale, right hand comes down towards the right leg, reaching up to the sky with the left arm and over. Breathing here for 1, 2. Enjoying that Saturday morning sunshine that might be streaming through your window. 4 and 5. Inhale, coming back, taking the left hand to the left hip. Inhale, reaching the right arm up towards the sky and reaching over to the left. Feeling a nice lengthening happening here on the entire right side of our body. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, coming back, taking the hands towards the mat, coming back to all fours. On the next inhale, we're going to reach the right arm up towards the sky, and exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left. We're going to bring the shoulder down, the head down. We're going to keep the left hand where it is, and the left leg, we're going to reach back behind us, pressing out through the left heel. Now maybe I just stay here, pressing also the right arm into the ground. Maybe I stay here, or maybe I start engaging that left leg and starting to raise it up towards the sky. Now maybe you get playful here, and we take the left knee to the left elbow. And inhale, reach back. It's just playing a little bit here with our balance, having a little bit of fun. Taking the left knee again, and inhaling back. One last time. Again, option to just stay on the floor or just play with the leg in the air. And exhale, take the left leg back towards the floor. Good. We're going to take the left knee back, press the left hand into the mat, come back to all fours. Good. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling, and on the exhale, threading the left arm through. So again, here it's keeping the right hand exactly where it is. We're going to take the right leg back, press through with the right heel. Maybe I stay here, or maybe I reach that right leg up. Okay? And again, option to stay here or to take the right knee in towards the right elbow. And inhale back. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. And back. And exhale, right knee to right elbow. And back. Exhale, take the right foot back, press through the right heel, and then take that right knee back, press into the right hand, and come back to all fours. You did it. Good job. Great. So here we're going to tuck the toes underneath. We're going to lift the knees up just a few centimeters, engage the core a little bit here, and breathe. You might notice that the heat begins to build quite a bit in the body by doing this. Good. For 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, we're going to take the right leg back, left leg follows, coming into a high plank. Breathing here. Making sure here that the entire body is like a plank, exactly like the pose says, just a nice straight line. So making sure we're not dumping in the hips or lifting up too high. Just trying to find that balance in between. And on the exhale, we're going to take the knees down towards the mat, and inhale, lengthen. We'll do that 2 more times. Exhale, knees towards the mat, and inhale, lengthen. Nice and slow movements here. Last time, exhale, knees towards the mat. Good, and inhale, lengthen. Exhale, downward facing dog. Great. So feel free to pedal out the feet here if it's your first downward dog of the day. Just bending one knee, lengthening the other. Finding length in the back. If you find that your chest is kind of coming forwards, we're just going to encourage the hands to press into the mat and bring the hips a little bit higher, bring more length into the spine. Good. And on the next inhale, we're going to take the feet together. We're going to reach that right leg up, back behind us, really pressing out through the right foot, making sure here that the hips are square. For 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, we're going to take the right knee in towards the right elbow. Good, and back. Exhale, that right knee is going to come towards the left elbow. Good, and back. We'll do that one more time each side. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. And back. Last time, left knee, right knee to left elbow. And back. Exhale, take the right knee in towards the chest. Hold here for 1, 2. See if you can take your knee really close into your chest and your heel really close to your bum. And 5. Exhale, step that right foot forwards. Great job. Okay, so that left knee, we're going to take it down towards the mat. If you feel like you need a blanket underneath your knee right now, you can go ahead and do that. If not, we're going to take the top of the left foot down towards the mat as well. We're going to hug the hips, the thighs together, imagining like you have a block in between your thighs. So we're going to hug the hips together, hug the thighs together. Right hip comes back, left hip comes forward. Okay, making sure we have that alignment before we take the left hand down towards the mat and inhale, reach the right arm up. Good. Breathing here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On the next inhale, making sure we're pressing the right foot and the top of the left foot into the mat. We're going to lift the chest. Yes, so we're in a twist here. Breathing here for 1, making sure we're hugging those thighs in towards the center. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, taking the hands to heart center. So we're still in the twist, just taking our hands to heart center. And we're going to take the left knee, the left elbow outside of the right knee. Okay, pressing the hands in towards each other. We're just in a small twist here. Maybe you stay here with the left knee on the ground, or maybe you tuck the toes, left toes under, and you reach back, lifting the left knee up off the ground. Okay, for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So option here, if you want to go, if you feel like you have the balance and the strength in the legs, you can just gaze forwards, gaze towards your right foot, and step the left foot forwards. Okay? If not, if we have our left knee down onto the ground, we're just going to take the hands down towards the ground. We're going to step forwards, and we're going to come into chair, taking the hands to heart center, and then coming in towards seated twist in that way. Okay, so you might already be here just because you came into this pose. Just because you came into this pose from here. Okay, so we're all meeting in the seated twist. So breathing here for 1. Pressing the left elbow into the right knee into the left elbow. Pressing the hands in towards each other. Gazing upwards for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, coming back to center, reaching the arms up, coming into chair. So really creating length here in the arms. And exhale, dropping the tailbone down for 1, 2, 3, smiling always helps. 4, and 5. On the next inhale, we're going to open our arms out towards the sides. Again, I have a wall here, so I'm a little bit limited. But we're going to take the left arm out in front of us. The right arm is going to come underneath. We're going to bend the left arm, bend the right, take the hands together. And we're going to start to put more weight into the left foot. We're going to take the right foot, the right leg, we're marching. And then cross it over. You might just stay here. Your foot might come to the work towards the ground. That's fantastic. We can just stay here. Option to hook the right foot behind the left thigh. Left calf, sorry. Wherever you are, we're just breathing. Find your center. Two more breaths. Beautiful. We're going to take the right leg, step it back. Just natural step. So for here, it's not going to be a huge lunge. It's literally just a little step. Okay. We're going to lengthen both legs. Take the arms back. We're going to take hold of either elbow. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, grow tall. We're going to square off our hips. So the right hip is coming forward, left hip coming back. Taking hold of either elbow, lengthening the spine. And starting to fold forwards with the heart. Maybe I just stay here. Maybe you'll start going further, taking your nose as close to your knee as you can, but always looking for length in the spine. Breathing here. Hugging the thighs together. Pressing the feet into the ground. For 2. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, coming all the way up. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, folding forwards. We're going to take the hands towards the floor. Take the left foot back, coming back to our plank. Yes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. So taking the feet towards each other, taking the feet to center. We're going to do the same thing that we just did on the right, but on the left. Okay, inhale. Reach the left arm up toward, the left leg up towards the sky. We're going to press that foot back. Keep the hips square. And on the exhale, taking the knee towards the left elbow. And exhale back. Taking the left knee towards the right elbow. Little twist. Moving slowly here. And back. Again, left knee to left elbow. And inhale back. And left knee to right elbow. And inhale back. Last time, left knee into center. Hold here. Really squeeze the knee in towards the chest. Squeeze the heel towards the bum. For 2, 3, 4, and big step forwards with that left foot. Okay. So we'll take the right knee down towards the mat. Take the top of the right foot. Okay. Again, imagining like we have that block in between the thighs. Squeeze the block. Yes, taking the left hip back, right hip forwards. On the next inhale, right hand comes down on the right next to the left foot, and we're going to lift and reach the left arm towards the sky. Good. Squeezing the thighs together. For 1, 2, enjoying these moments of stillness. 3, 4, and 5. So again, making sure that we're pressing both feet in towards the mat. And on the inhale, we're going to come into our twist. Yes, again, making sure we have this imaginary block in between the thighs. We're going to squeeze the block. Yes, reaching the arms out, pressing both feet in towards the ground. For 1, 2, smiling always helps in any life situation. 4, and 5. Exhale, taking the hands to center. We're going to take the right elbow outside of the left knee. Yes. Taking the hands in towards each other. You might just stay here. This might be your pose for the next few breaths. If not, we're going to tuck the right toes under. Press the right heel back, lift the right knee up. Yes. So we're here for 1, 2. Remembering to engage the thighs. 3, 4, and 5. Now if you had your right knee down, we're going to take the hands down, step forwards, come into chair, and then come into our revolved seated twist. Yes? If we're in this pose, we're just going to take a look at our foot, step the right foot forwards. Okay, it's a leap of faith. And we're all going to hang out in Pari Vrita. Right here, Pari Vrita Utkatasana, twisted seated pose. For 1, 2, it's harder to remember Sanskrit when you're all twisted. 3, 4, And 5. Inhale, coming to your seat. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, taking the seat down. You might be hating me right now. I am a little bit, so for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're gonna reach the arms out. This time the right arm comes out, left arm comes underneath. Bend the right arm, bend the left, palms touch. Put more weight into the right foot. We're gonna lift that left foot up like it's marching, and we're gonna cross it over the right. So maybe my toes come to the ground, right next to the right foot. That's an option. Or maybe I'll hook my toes behind my left calf, or my right calf. I'm all twisted here, I don't know which one is which now. So wherever you are, just breathe. Find your center. Last breath here. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to release that top leg and just step it back. So we've got the left leg back, right leg forwards, and we're just lengthening in the knees. Right, the arms are going to come back behind. I'm going to grab hold of either elbow, growing tall in the spine. Again here, making sure that right hip is coming back, left hip is coming forward, squaring the hips. Reaching tall with the crown of the head. And on the exhale, at the same time as we press our feet in towards the mat, we're taking our chest forwards. So again, you might start to fold further forwards. You might just stay halfway, wherever it is that you feel good. And challenged. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come up. Good, reach the arms up towards the sky. And we're just gonna step that left foot forwards. Okay? And exhale, take the hands in towards heart center, closing the eyes. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do it one more time. Inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center. Keeping the eyes closed. Just observe what's going on in the body. Observe the heartbeat. Observe the breathing. Observe the mind. And on the next inhale, opening the eyes again, reaching the arms up towards the sky, maybe finding a little back bend here. And exhale, take the hands to the heart. We're going to fold forwards. Hello, little plant. Inhale, take the hands to the shins, gaze forwards. Exhale, take the hands towards the mat. We're going to step the right foot back, left foot follows. And we'll just slowly come down towards the mat, ever so slowly. Good. So, we're going to come into our first yin pose, which is going to be Sphinx pose. So on the next inhale, we're just going to come into like a little cobra, making sure here that the hands come underneath the shoulders. So wherever the hands are now, I'm just going to lower the chest, lower the abdomen towards the floor. Wherever my hands are, I'm going to take my elbows there, and my hands are going to come forwards. On the other side, same thing. Yes? So coming into a little Sphinx pose here. Just releasing any tension here in the lower back, and the glutes, and the legs. So we're engaging here, we're pressing the forearms into towards the mat, growing long in the spine. And your gaze can be a few centimeters in front of the fingertips. So again, as the body begins to do less, the mind might start to do more. So just noticing that. So this is probably my favorite yin pose. I'm a big fan of the relief that I get in the low back and the lower abdominal area as well. This might not be the most comfortable pose for you. Every body type is different. So again, just noticing, finding a place or a way to practice each pose is really important in a way that doesn't cause any harm or pain to your body, but at the same time where you feel a challenge, that's a good place to be. So where it doesn't hurt, but where you feel like you're working. So we'll be here for a few more breaths. You can feel free to close the eyes. And just start to ease your way into this yin portion. That invites us to retreat. That invites us to go inwards and to stay with any uncomfortable physical or emotional observances. So on the next inhale, we're just going to open the elbows out slightly so that the chest can come down. Our hands, you can place one hand on top of the other and then place the forehead on top of the hands. We're just going to rest here at the back just for a moment. Great. And taking the hands again underneath the shoulders, we're going to press the hands in towards the mat. Take the hips back into Balasana, Child's Pose. So on the next inhale, we're going to gaze forwards, take the hands to the mat, tuck the toes underneath. We're going to lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So on the next inhale, we're going to take both feet together. Inhale, reach the right leg up towards the sky. On the exhale, we're just going to bend the knee, open the hip this time, and just gaze underneath the left armpit, kind of looking for your foot. Keeping the torso square, it's just the hips that are opening. And on the exhale, taking the knee in towards the chest and taking a nice big step forwards. So now this is the part where you might need the props. So we're going to have our left knee down on the ground for the next little while. So you might want to take your blanket and place it underneath the left knee. And we're going to have our blocks handy as well. We'll just leave them here in front for a second just so you can see. So my right leg is forwards. I'm going to start to walk the right foot over to the right to come parallel to the right side of the mat. That is depending on the hip flexibility. Just having this here without walking it over to the side, this might already be enough for me. And I might want to take my blocks to either side of my foot and just stay here. Okay? This is a completely fine option. Blocks or books or whatever you're using here. Okay? And you can adjust the heights. Okay? Otherwise, if you want to go a little bit further into the pose, we're going to start to walk the right foot over to the right side of the mat. You might want to lift the sole of the right foot, and you're going to start to feel this. You're going to start to feel this. Okay? So again, you might stay here, or you might use the blocks, or you might come down onto your forearms, or you might not need any blocks at all, and you might just come right down onto the floor. Again, here we're not looking to see, oh, look at this great thing that I can do with my body. We're not going in that direction. We're looking for something that feels good in the body, that is going to stretch some areas that might be a little bit tight because of a lot of sitting or a lot of watching Netflix on the couch or whatever it is, lack of walking or whatever. So finding that place that's comfortable for you. I'm going to hang out in the first option here. And again, remembering that we're going to be here for a little while. And last thing to remember here is keeping that imaginary block in between the thighs if you're in that first position here. And just making sure that we're hugging the inner thighs together. Okay, this doesn't apply so much if you're in the full pose. There's going to be a lot more opening going on there, so that's okay. Okay, so again, remembering to find what feels good for you. And we're slowly going to ease into this next pose. Closing the eyes if that feels good for you. Noticing the present moment. You might become aware of the sounds in the room or outside. You might hear some birds chirping outside your window, or maybe some distant traffic. You might be hearing people in the next room. And just allowing these sounds to wash over you. Noticing every new sound as it comes up. So if at any time you feel like you need a little break from the pose, you can always back out of it a little bit and then ease your way back in. So there are no hard and fast rules in yoga. It's whatever feels good for your body, for where you are today. Resisting the urge to follow any expectation of ourselves. Maybe we were able to do something in last practice that today our body's not really into. That's okay. Variety is the spice of life. If we did the same thing every day, we would probably go nuts. So we'll just spend a few more breaths in this pose. So I'm gonna come into the full pose just to kind of help everybody come out of it, if that's where you are. So if you're down with your forearms on the mat, we're gonna take the hands press the hands in towards the mat, lift the chest up, and we're slowly going to start to take the sole of the foot down towards the mat and start to walk the foot back to center. Okay, so we all should be now in this sort of low lunge here. Okay, so if you have your blocks, you can feel free to walk the blocks back slightly. We're going to start to walk the foot a little further in front of us to lengthen the right leg. We're going to bring the toes up towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen in the spine. And on the exhale, we're just going to start to fold forwards. Okay, if you're not using any blocks, that might look a little bit like this. Lengthening and folding. Okay, so we're just kind of releasing and lengthening the back of the right leg. Just doing this little stretch here to release the hips, a little bit of any tension that might have creeped in that last pose. Good, we're going to take the hips. We're going to start to walk the foot back to a 90-degree angle. So we're in our low lunge again. So from here, we're just going to take the sole of the foot to the mat and just start to walk the foot back slightly. Okay? So from here, we're going to come into pigeon pose. So what that's going to look like is we're going to start to walk the right foot, this time over to the left. Okay? So that the right knee comes behind the right wrist, the right hand. Okay? So here, I might find, oh wow, my right hip is not going to come down towards the mat. That's where we get a block or blankets, or maybe 2 blocks, or whatever it is, and bring the floor closer to the hip. Okay? So again, adjusting this pose for yourself. If having the calf parallel to the mat is too much for you, you can take that foot back and have a more angled shin here, leg, a more angled leg. Okay, so again, we might just stay here. This might be my pose. Okay, otherwise, I might start folding down. I might bring my forehead down towards the mat. I have my plant here. But what that might look like for you is just coming all the way down. Personally, I'm not a big fan of coming all the way down in pigeon, just for my body, because I find that my leg starts to fall asleep with the weight of my torso on my leg. So wherever is comfortable for you, you might just hang out here for the next little while. Okay. Another option, I'm going to move my plants, is to use the other block that's not underneath your hip, and come down. Bring the forehead onto the block. This is my favorite way to practice pigeon pose, actually. So once out of all of those variations, you've sort of found your pigeon pose, found where it is that you feel good and comfortable, just starting to, again, ease into the pose. I'm going to take the block out from underneath my hip, just because for me it does more bother than assist. So just doing whatever feels good. And so now maybe we're shifting our attention this time to the body and bodily sensation in order to come into the present moment. So just noticing whatever it is there is to notice on this side. Any sensation, any tension. Perhaps noticing the temperature in the room. Perhaps noticing the clothes draped over the body. Your contact with the blocks, or books, or blankets. You might be noticing a sensation of release. Or maybe a sensation of tension or holding. We're just noticing these different sensations. So we're here for a few more breaths. On the next inhale, gazing forwards, we're going to walk the hands back towards the torso. Take the hands, plant the hands on the mat. We're going to tuck the left toes underneath in order to lift the hips up. And we're going to gently take that right leg back behind us. Coming into our downward dog. Again, you might want to just sort of pedal out the feet here. Okay. On the next inhale, take the feet in towards each other. We're going to lift the left leg up towards the sky. This time bend the left knee, open the left hip, and just gaze underneath your right armpit, keeping the torso square. And on the next exhale, taking the left knee in towards the chest, taking the left foot forwards. And again, coming into that low lunge. So the right knee comes down towards the blanket, top of the right foot comes down towards the mat. Okay, so again, coming into the same pose that you did on the right side. So maybe it's just this low lunge where I'm hugging the inner thighs together, and I'll be here. Or maybe I'm walking that left foot out to the outside of the left side of the mat, and I'm going to start to lift the sole of the left foot. Yes? And maybe I come down, coming into this full pose here. That's an option. Another option is using the blocks, sort of coming to a middle ground. Yes? So again, I'm going to do the same low lunge from the other side. So finding your pose and getting settled into it. So remembering that in the yin practice, there is still a certain amount of engaging in the body. For example, we're squeezing the thighs together. So we're not sort of dumping any weight anywhere. It's active, it's engaged as well. So here we might, again, using the present moment awareness practice that we've been doing here, we might start to notice the thoughts. There might be a lot of thoughts. And just sort of notice them as they pass by. They might just be sort of random thoughts. What am I going to have for dinner later today? Or, oh, I should call this person and say hi. We can do a Zoom meeting or whatever. Oh, who's giving class tomorrow on Mindful Bodyworks Yoga? I should check the schedule. All of these random thoughts. Or they might be thoughts that have to do with certain emotions. Oh, I really felt hurt when so-and-so said this. Sort of ruminating, repetitive thoughts, those might be there as well. And just noticing and observing, it might help to just call each thought a certain word, like hurt, or happy, or observance, whatever. Imagining these thoughts to be like clouds passing by in a clear blue sky. There might be fluffy white clouds, and there might be stormy clouds. Just watch them float. Observing without becoming entangled in any thoughts. So we'll be here for a few more breaths. So I'll get into the full pose again to kind of walk you out of it. So if we're here in this full pose, we're going to take the hands to the mat, lift the chest, bring the sole of the left foot back to the floor, and start to walk it towards center. Okay? So wherever we are, if we're coming from that full pose, we can just walk the left foot out in front, lengthening the left leg, toes come up, inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale, fold. Yes, if we're in a low lunge with blocks, again, just walk the foot in front, lengthen the left leg, lift the toes, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold as far as feels good to you. Just a few breaths here. So we'll take that foot back to a 90-degree angle. And again, we're going to come into pigeon on the other side. So that left foot from center is going to start to walk over to the right. The left knee is going to come behind the left wrist. Again, if having the calf parallel is too much for me, I'm going to angle my knee a little bit more. If I need a block underneath my hip, I'm going to take a block here. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold as far over as you feel you want to, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the other side. You can do the same, or your own version of it. And I'm going to take the block out from underneath, just because that doesn't feel so great for my body. Happier here, so finding your version of pigeon. Making sure that there's no pulling or pinching in the knee. We always want to be careful with our joints. And in this pose, the invitation to the present moment is going to be through the breath. Noticing the way the air comes in through the nose, the way it expands the belly, the chest, maybe even the low back and the back ribs. And the way the body exhales and releases. also want to engage in 4-4 breathing here, which is inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 4. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. And continuing in that way. Again, anytime the mind begins to wander, just bringing the attention and awareness back to the breathing. So we'll be here for about 30 more seconds on the side. So from where we are, just start walking the hands back. We're going to tuck the right toes underneath. Press the hands into the mat, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, on the exhale, we're going to take a nice wide-legged child's pose, take the hips back. Lower down. Just release any tension here in the hips. And on the next inhale, starting to walk the hands back towards the torso, having a seat. We're going to get ready for our Shavasana pose. So if you want to keep the blanket behind you as like a little cushion, you can do that. If you feel like you need socks or a sweater, you can go ahead and put those on. If not, we're going to start to lay down on our backs. Maybe hug the knees in towards the center line. You can let the knees fall over to the left. Get a little twist in before your Shavasana. And then back to center. And over to the right. Again, I have a wall here. So it's a little limited. Just breathing. Letting go of the practice. Inhale, come back to center. Maybe just a final Balasana, Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. Taking hold of the outsides of the feet, or maybe even just the calves. Maybe rocking from side to side, massaging the back. And on the next inhale, taking the knees in towards the chest. Releasing the left leg out in front of you. Right leg out. Coming into our full Shavasana pose. Both arms are going to come on either side of the body. You can close the eyes here. Maybe invite the chin in towards the chest a little to invite a little bit more length in the spine. And just release the practice. Let go of anything that happened or didn't happen. Taking a few deep cleansing breaths. And the next few moments, just allowing the body, the heart, the mind, and the entire being to relax and rest. beginning to deepen the breath, beginning to fill the belly and the chest with air, maybe moving the fingertips and the toes, moving the head slightly from one side to the other, starting to wake up the body. On the next inhale, reach the arms up and back, over the head, reach the feet out in front of you. And on the exhale, turning over onto one side into a comfortable fetal position. Just taking a moment here to express gratitude for anything or anyone that you feel particularly grateful for today. When you feel ready, pressing your hand into the mat or the floor, coming back to a comfortable seated position. Taking hands to heart center and Anjali Mudra. We're going to take a nice deep inhale in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Again, inhaling and exhaling. One last time, inhaling and exhaling. So just before we finish, I just wanted to read some words of wisdom that I have read recently that I thought were really beautiful. Am I only this body, this figure, this color, this case? Or am I this temperament, this scholarship, and intellectualism? No, I am he who has come to seek. So in this time of retreat, just a bit of an intention to hopefully come a little bit closer and connected to ourselves, more connected to those around us, our loved ones, via Skype, via Zoom, via whatever that may be. So just a very big thank you to Mindful Bodyworks Yoga for providing us this opportunity to connect in this way. You can also follow me on Instagram, ambika.yoga, and we can share some more. So we're just going to close chanting the same mantra, Om Hari Om. Inhaling. Hari Om. Thank you again to each and every one of you for coming on to practice this morning via Instagram. I hope you have a beautiful day. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment on our advertisement for the page. Namaste.